Have you ever looked around and asked yourself, why do some people rise effortlessly, while others with the same intelligence, the same potential, fade into the background, unnoticed? It's not fate, it's not luck, and no, it's not even raw talent. The difference? They understand the unspoken rules. These aren't rules you'll find in textbooks. No one announces them, and yet everyone plays by them. They're silent, invisible, and they shape who gets ahead and who stays behind. In the real game of life, it's not the loudest or the busiest who win. It's the ones who see clearly, move quietly, and strike with precision. They're never caught off guard. They're never easily read, and most importantly, they're never controlled. Today, you'll discover 15 of the darkest, sharpest principles that powerful minds use, not to deceive, but to survive, to lead, and to win. These aren't principles for everyone. But once you learn them, you can't unlearn them. You'll start to see patterns where others see chaos. You'll understand motives that others miss. Let's begin with one that's so counterintuitive. It turns everything you've been told about presence and visibility upside down. Law 15. Use absence to increase your worth. If you're always available, always showing up, always in reach, you become ordinary. Predictable, easy. But here's the hard truth. The world doesn't chase what it already has. It chases what it can't quite touch. This is the power of scarcity. The less of you there is, the more people want, not because you've changed, but because you've become rare. Think about diamonds. They're valuable not for what they do, but because they're hard to find. The same is true for you. When your absence is felt, your value begins to rise. The Stoics taught this long before it became strategy. Detach from the need to constantly be seen or praised. Detach from performance, from noise, because true influence doesn't live in visibility. It lives in deliberate distance. When you're always in the room, people stop noticing. But when you step away, even for a moment, you create tension. Curiosity, desire. They start asking, where did you go? They start missing you. And that's how legends are made. Not by being everywhere, but by being missed. The most powerful people in the world don't scatter themselves. They craft their presence like a rare moment, anticipated, whispered about, remembered. Your silence can be louder than your words. Your absence can be more powerful than your presence. And when you return, don't return the same. Return elevated. Return transformed. Return as the person they can't ignore. If you master this, you won't need to chase attention. It will chase you. So take a step back. Let them wonder. Because in your absence, your power begins. Law 14. Weaponize trust strategically. Sometimes, the person who knows your secrets best is the one quietly watching your weaknesses. In a world where knowledge equals control, trust becomes the most dangerous currency. Because here's the thing. The one who gathers the most insight doesn't just understand others. They own the game. So sharpen your awareness. Talk less. Listen more. Why? Because those who truly master trust don't guard it like a treasure. They wield it like a weapon. Law 13. Align with self-interest, not sympathy. Don't expect the world to reward you just because you're kind, loyal, or deserving. The harsh reality is, people rarely move because of your virtues. They move because of what they gain. This is Law 13. Never appeal to mercy. Appeal to self-interest. In the real world, kindness alone doesn't open doors. Value does. If you want someone to take action, show them how it benefits them. Even Julius Caesar understood this. He didn't rise by begging for loyalty. He offered wealth, power, and glory. He didn't plead. He awakened ambition. And because of that, an entire empire bowed to him. The Stoics remind us, don't expect fairness from life. See things as they are, not as they should be. And what is this world really built on? Incentives. There are two types of people: those who wait and hope for help, and those who position themselves so well, others rush to support them. So if you want to be heard, make sure your voice carries opportunity. Don't just ask for support, show people how helping you helps them. Not because you're manipulative, but because you understand how alignment works. Influence doesn't come from emotion. It comes from incentive. So stop hoping to be understood. Start being useful. Because once people see their own win in your success, you'll never need to ask twice. Law 12. Disarm with strategic kindness. Some of the most effective deception comes dressed as generosity. And here's why. People rarely question kindness. Because when someone seems generous, we drop our guard. This is Law 12. Disarm with selective generosity. The most powerful minds don't reveal their strength through force. They do it through carefully placed acts of goodwill. Because once someone believes you're on their side, they stop protecting themselves. Genghis Khan knew this well. Instead of burning down every city he conquered, he offered gifts, honor, protection. He made the people love him. And when their resistance disappeared, he struck with precision. That's the danger of trust. It blinds. The Stoics warn us, observe. Don't assume. What looks like virtue might just be strategy. And those who throw honesty around carelessly, they're often the first to be broken. But the wise? They reveal just enough to gain access, never more. Ready to see what happens when silence, timing, and emotional control become the sharpest tools in your arsenal? Law 11. Become irreplaceable, not just useful. Real power doesn't shout. It doesn't seek applause. It hides quietly behind the mask of sincerity, calm, calculated, and precise. Don't let emotion drive you. Use power with clarity, not sentiment, because in a world built on perception, remember this: the hand that offers kindness might also be gripping a hidden blade. So what keeps people loyal? Is it love, respect, admiration? Not really. Most of the time, loyalty is rooted in need, not affection. People stay close not because they idolize you, but because they depend on you. And the moment they realize they can survive, or worse, thrive, without you, your importance begins to evaporate. That's the harsh truth, and that's why Law 11 exists. Don't just be useful, become irreplaceable. Not through manipulation, not through fear, but through quiet indispensability. The kind that's built deep into the structure. The kind that makes systems fall apart when you're no longer there. A wise king once asked his trusted advisor, "Tell me, who holds the greatest power in this kingdom?" The advisor smiled and answered, "The man whose absence causes everything to break." That person may not wear the crown. He may not command armies or sit on thrones. But remove him, and the empire crumbles. In ancient Rome, one clever minister mastered this strategy. He never revealed everything he knew. Instead, he offered knowledge in small, controlled pieces, always keeping himself as the only one who held the full picture. The king, growing too confident, eventually dismissed him. But without the minister, chaos erupted. Systems failed, and only then did people realize the value of what they had lost, something they had long taken for granted. That lesson? It still applies today. If you want to preserve your power, never give it all away. Keep something that only you can do, solve, or understand. Be like the camel in the desert, not admired for beauty or speed, but essential for survival. Become the one thing they cannot move forward without. The Stoics taught self-reliance. Yes, but they also understood a deeper truth. There is wisdom in becoming vital to whatever system you belong to. So ask yourself this simple, uncomfortable question. If you vanished tomorrow, would the system adapt, or would it fall apart? The answer reveals everything. Because in a world that always finds a replacement for the merely useful, and quickly forgets those who are merely kind, you must make your absence feel like a collapse. That is how you remain indispensable. Law 10. Protect your energy from the unstable. You might have ambition, you might have discipline, intelligence, vision, but none of that matters if your environment is toxic. Even the strongest roots will rot in poisoned soil. This is Law 10. Protect your energy. Avoid the unlucky and the negative. The Stoics remind us, you are responsible for your inner world. But they also warn, be ruthless with what you allow into it. Because some people are not just unhelpful, they are corrosive. Their energy drains you, their chaos infects you, and somehow, their failures start to feel like your burden. We just talked about protecting your energy from negative people, because their failures and chaos can silently seep into your life, until you can no longer tell where their problems end and yours begin. Now, let's go deeper into that story. Law 10. Protect your energy from the unstable. There are people who drain you just by being around. Their energy is like a vacuum, slowly pulling the life out of you. And before you even notice, their failures become the burdens you're carrying. Their chaos starts to creep into the order you've worked so hard to build, until you can't even tell anymore what's their mess and what's yours. There was once a man like that. Unmatched talent, sharp mind, relentless work ethic. But no matter how hard he pushed, everything around him kept falling apart. His finances crumbled, his relationships soured, trust was shattered. He wasn't weak, but he was surrounded by weakness. And then came a moment of clarity. He began to see a pattern. Every downfall, every collapse, had one thing in common: the people in his circle. Who were they? Chronic complainers, self-declared victims, people addicted to drama, not discipline. So, he made the boldest decision of his life. He cut them off. Quietly, gradually, and then, the noise faded. Within a year, peace returned, his work thrived, his mind became sharper than ever. You see, the people you allow into your life are never neutral. They either elevate your vision, or erode it. Misery is contagious. Failure is not just an event, it's a mindset. And that mindset spreads like toxic smoke. Protect your path like a fortress. Because those who seek greatness must guard not only their time, but their energy, their focus, and the company they keep on the road to power. Remember this. Kindness must never become weakness. You cannot heal those who refuse to change, but you can choose not to be pulled into their storm. And sometimes, that one decision can save your life. Law 9. Let action silence the noise. There are people who will never try to understand you. No matter what you say, they'll twist it, misinterpret it, on purpose. So don't waste your breath trying to convince them. A fool will drag you into his chaos, pull you down to his level, and win by exhausting your peace. That's why real power doesn't argue. It delivers results. This is Law 9. Win through action. never through argument. The Stoics taught us, inner control is always more powerful than outer noise. Arguing is often just a sign that you're still seeking validation. But the truly powerful move in silence. Their victories speak for them. They don't explain, they execute. They don't beg to be understood. They make themselves undeniable. If someone questions your worth, don't debate. Let your consistency, your discipline, and your results crush their doubt. Every second spent arguing is a second stolen from building. And every time you lower yourself into conflict, you abandon the high ground of clarity and purpose. Understand this. Those who truly command respect never try to prove themselves. They simply become impossible to ignore. So speak less, act more. Let the world keep talking while you keep building your legacy. In a world addicted to noise, you become rare by choosing action. So, don't react, rise. Don't defend, deliver. Don't explain, excel. Whether they love you or hate you, let them watch from the sidelines. As your life becomes the loudest response. Law 8: attract others. Don't chase them. Let them stand on the sidelines and watch as your life becomes the loudest. Most undeniable response. Because in the end, people may argue with your words, but no one can deny the results you've earned. Law 8. Don't chase. Make them come to you. It sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? But in the world of strategy, movement isn't always progress. Running doesn't always lead to victory. When you're the one constantly chasing, in work, in love, or in influence, you're sending a silent message. I need you. You are the prize. I'm just the one trying to keep up. But real power plays by different rules. It doesn't chase. It attracts. It positions itself so clearly, so confidently, that others are drawn in. Not out of politeness, but because they feel they have to. The Stoics understood this long ago. All power begins with inner control. From that still, grounded place, true influence flows outward. So if you want something from someone, don't beg. Build a reality where they start craving what you offer. Use patience like a sharpened blade. Let your absence speak louder than your presence ever could. The powerful don't scramble to play games built by others. They rewrite the board and wait. Wait until others move toward them. On their terms, by their design. Even bait, when used with purpose, is not manipulation, it's strategy. Turn their needs into your leverage. Turn your silence into undeniable gravity. Because once someone believes, I need you to move forward, they'll cross oceans just to shake your hand. Respect is never earned by pursuit. It's earned by posture, by how you hold yourself, even in stillness. So stop running. Stop trying to be accepted. Build. Return to center. Hold the frame. Own your space. In the end, you must choose. Will you spend your life reacting to others? Or will you create a world where they orbit around you? One path makes noise, the other commands the room. Choose wisely. Law 7. Don't let false humility make you invisible. And once you've chosen to build a world where others orbit around you, remember this. Power doesn't only come from what you do, but from how others perceive what you do. Don't let false humility steal from you the recognition, influence, and legacy that you rightfully earned. Because the truth is, those things only come when you're seen, not just when you work quietly behind the scenes. This isn't about stealing credit. It's about stepping up and leading. When you're the one sparking movement, when you see the bigger picture while others are stuck in the details. When you're not just playing the game but orchestrating it, then you deserve the spotlight. So ask yourself honestly, are you building your own name, or quietly helping someone else build theirs? In the game of power, hard work is noble, but strategic contribution is essential. Credit is eternal, so don't just contribute, make sure you're remembered. Law 6. Be so real. They can't ignore you in this world. Obscurity is a silent death. It doesn't matter how wise, how skilled, or how brilliant you are, if the world doesn't see you. It will forget you. This is Law 6. Either you command attention, or you fade away. Visibility is not vanity, it's survival. The Stoics taught us to focus on substance over appearance, but they never denied that society is drawn to what it simply cannot look away from. If you want influence, you must learn how to enter people's minds and stay there. Be unforgettable, not by shouting, not by begging to be noticed, but by becoming something so compelling, so emotionally charged, that people cannot turn their eyes from you. That magnetism could come from love, from admiration, from fear, even from hate. But indifference is the true failure. Even your enemies keep your name alive when they can't stop thinking about you. The greatest figures in history were not all beloved, but they were remembered. Average lives are lived quietly, unnoticed, unchallenged, unnamed, but those who seize the spotlight, even for a moment, shape the direction of the crowd. So what about you? Will you let the world pass you by, like a breeze through an empty street? Or will you make the world stop, turn, and remember? Shape perception, stir emotion, make people feel something when your name is spoken. Because in the game of power, silence is not peace, it's erasure. And those who fade quietly into the background are the ones history buries deepest. So leave your mark, or be forgotten. The choice is yours. Because in a world where forgetfulness is always lurking, you don't just need to be seen, you need to be remembered. That's why your comeback must echo like thunder in a clear sky. Law 5. Make your comeback hit like an earthquake. When life pushes you to rock bottom, don't just get back up quietly. Rise in a way that shakes the world. A fall may be temporary, but a comeback, if crafted right, becomes the reason no one ever dares to underestimate you again. Let your return be more than just progress. Let it be a declaration that you didn't just survive, you came back with undeniable force. This is law number 5. Shake the ground, so they remember your name. Because in the eyes of the crowd, perception often matters more than truth. They won't remember how resilient you were in the shadows. They'll remember the moment you stormed in like a force of nature and changed everything. So if someone tries to humiliate you, if someone tries to diminish your worth, don't rush to respond with words or bitterness. Don't explain, don't defend. Respond with transformation, with a comeback so powerful, it leaves them speechless. Let your results burn every trace of past humiliation. Make them say, "That's not the same person anymore. They've become something greater, stronger, untouchable." Because in the end, the world only truly listens when you shake it to its core. So don't just come back. Come back like an earthquake. Law 4. Guard your words, guard your power. The Stoic philosophers never lived to please others, but they deeply understood one thing. The way the world sees you is the armor you wear every single day. It can protect you, or it can expose you if you don't control it. The world won't stop to ask, "Who are you really?" It simply reacts to what you show on the surface. And in that world, you have only two choices. Either you command the room, or you get swallowed by it. So, Take ownership of how you're perceived. Craft your message with clarity and intention. Because power doesn't come from begging. It comes from presence, from energy. You don't have to be cruel, but you must be unignorable. Because once people can't dismiss you, they begin to be moved by you. And when you fall, and you will fall, turn that moment into a forge. Don't shrink. Don't explain. Become the version of you that is bold, relentless, and beyond doubt. Make those who once underestimated you respect your name, not because you forced them to, but because they have no other choice. You can be remembered as the one who fell, or the one who made the ground tremble when they stood back up. The choice is yours. Law 3. Conceal the path. Reveal only the result. The moment others know what you're pursuing, your goals, your ambitions, your next move, they can use that very information against you. They may try to stop you, get ahead of you, or quietly sabotage everything you've built. That's why you must conceal your intentions. Not because you're being deceptive, but because you're playing a game that only the discreet can win. Stoic philosophy teaches, wisdom lies in restraint, and in strategy, restraint is survival, the predictable or the vulnerable. But those who move in silence, hidden in the fog of misdirection, become untouchable. Look at history. Those who are remembered weren't the loudest, but the quietest, whose actions cut the deepest. The Rothschild family built a vast financial empire through carefully calculated secrecy. They made the world look one way, while they moved silently in another. Even modern giants like Warren Buffett understand this law well. He never reveals everything he's doing. He keeps others guessing, while quietly preparing his next decisive move. Because when your intentions are hidden, your actions hit twice as hard. No one is prepared. Reveal only what reinforces your position. As for your real goals, let them rest beneath the surface of what others think they understand. Mystery isn't just a form of defense. It's a form of pure power. Because the moment every move you make is visible, it also becomes controllable. And at that point, you're no longer the one running the game. You're just playing by someone else's rules. So stay quiet, be patient, and when the time is right, let your silence deliver the blow no one saw coming. Law 2. Turn rivals into power. In the game of power, trust is never given freely. It's always the result of calculation. Have you noticed? The more successful you become, the more your so-called friends begin to expect from you. They want rewards, recognition, and sometimes they silently resent you for rising above them. Meanwhile, your enemies are more honest. They don't wear masks. They don't pretend. Their intentions are clear, and if you manage to bring them to your side, that loyalty, earned, not assumed, is far stronger than any lukewarm friendship. This is law number 2. Turn enemies into assets. History has proven this time and again. Napoleon was betrayed by those he once called friends. Julius Caesar fell by the hand of Brutus, the one he trusted most. The Stoics didn't see people as friend or foe. They saw strategy. They saw people as pieces on a grand chessboard, each needing to be placed in the right position. An enemy, when understood and properly redirected, can become a far more powerful ally than most, while a friend, too comfortable or blinded by envy, can become your greatest hidden threat. The wise don't aim to destroy every rival. They observe, they redirect, they control, because someone who once opposed you, but now stands with you by their own choice, can become a sharper weapon than anyone born into favor. In this game, Emotion has no place. Influence belongs to the one who sees further and knows how to transform everything, even enemies, into strength. In the previous part, we saw, in the game of power, a former enemy, once reformed, can become a sharper blade than any ally born out of comfort. And the one who holds the advantage is the one who knows how to turn threats into assets. Tension into loyalty. Law 1. Master yourself before you even think about challenging power. No matter how smart you are, no matter how talented, never make the mistake of outshining the one above you. This is law number 1. Never outshine the master. In any system of power, there's always an invisible thread holding everything together, called ego. It can protect you, or cut you out of the game without warning. Sometimes, all it takes is a shadow too bright, an idea too sharp, or simply a glance that carries too much ambition. And suddenly, you're the threat. History has buried countless names like that. Galileo, Nicolaus Copernicus. They weren't punished for being wrong, but for being too right. Too soon, and making the powerful feel small. Because power, though it may seem rational, runs on emotion, and those who hold it often fear being replaced more than they fear failure. That's why the wise learn restraint. They master the art of staying hidden. They allow others to feel superior, even while silently pulling the strings from behind the curtain. True intelligence isn't about showing off. It's about timing. You don't need to impress the master. You need to survive him. Protect his ego, and you protect your position. Then, when the moment is right, step out, not in someone else's shadow, but beyond their reach. Because sometimes, real power doesn't come from shining. It comes from knowing when to stay still. If any part of this spoke to you, hit that subscribe button, and don't miss the next law that might just change the way you play the game. Choose power to mark your moment.